Parapsychology Today, a program of investigation into the realms of the unknown. Suspend your mind for a moment and journey to a world beyond the five senses. Parapsychology Today is a program exploring ideas, theories, and concepts that have been around since ancient times. We'll journey to outer worlds and inner worlds. We'll look into such phenomena as past lives, UFOs, and hauntings. And we'll explore psychic ability as it relates to human potential. We do not intend to prove or persuade, but rather present theories and personal stories of ventures into the world of parapsychology. Whatever your beliefs, we hope this program will start you thinking about a reality beyond the five senses.
Hi, welcome to our show, Parapsychology Today. We have a new edition for you. We're going to be talking about essential oils, and I'm going to be interviewing Kendra Davy, who is the proprietor of Essential Oils Marketplace in Placerville, California. Kendra, thank you for joining me today. I'm so happy to talk about essential oils. So let's start
Thank you
by,
for having me.
oh, you're welcome. Let's start out by telling people what are essential oils?
Well, essential oils are basically plant compounds. They've been man's medicine for as long as written history goes back. We have essential oils back with Egyptians. Everything from frankincense and myrrh, which most people are very familiar with, as we've read in the Bible, frankincense and myrrh. And then they've heard of things like lavender and peppermint, and everything in between. And then we get to some of the more exotics. But basically, they've been man's original medicine. It's been around since man has been here, and it kind of has been forgotten for a little bit, and we're getting back to it.
How can they help us? They help us both body, mind, and spirit, right? So,
Correct. Yes. So there's so much connected to wellness, both physical, emotional, anxiety, and stress. And we have a time when people are kind of trying to move away from being on medications for everything, and wanting some natural options. And so whether it's just a little bit of stress or to have less pain, oils can fill that gap.
now we know some medications have side effects. Do the essential oils ever have a side effect?
We like to call it side benefits. It's
Okay.
kind of funny. Yeah, so when you could use a simple oil, let's say just one everyone's familiar with peppermint. Peppermint was kind of one I started with for allergies. I tend to have sinus trouble and allergies my whole life. So you could take a peppermint oil and you could be applying it to breathe better. It's also going to help your pain, your energy level, work on, if you have a headache, all that thing. So the oils work on every body system and bring benefits every time you use them.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned, well, I'm sorry that you had allergies, but that leads me to what I wanted to ask you originally was what's your background? How did you develop an interest in essential oils and how did you train? Did you have to learn about them? I mean, what's your credentials with essential oils?
Okay, so that's a good question. So no, I did not have a background in them. Where does everything start? With necessity, right? My father had a stroke in 2012. A very typical situation. Him and my mom go to the emergency room. They run all kinds of tests. They say, "Yep, you've had a stroke. Here's a bag full of medications. Get a wheelchair. Oh, and here's the bill. And we don't have much more to help you with." And so from there, what do you do when your family is in crisis? You go searching. And so I was going to heal my dad. I knew the brain could heal. Um, and so I went to everything. I dragged my poor dad to oxygen chambers, to acupuncture, to you name it. And I ended up in a class. And I was sitting at the class and they start talking about these oils. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm sitting here. I got to get out of here. This is not what I was looking for. And pretty soon I come to find out about frankincense. And the woman teaching the class, she says, frankincense can heal your dad's brain. And I said, okay, this sounds like a bunch of magic beans, but I've tried everything else. So I'm willing to give it a shot. And so we got my dad frankincense, and he thought it was strange, but I said, Dad, just put it on your brain. So they said, put it on your temples and the brainstem. And in 2 weeks from that, my dad was driving again. And he was able to make a full recovery, and he never was on any of those medications. So I said, there's something to this. There's got to be more than that. Because, everybody wants to think, oh, he would have recovered anyway. You don't know. And so I was very skeptical, as my husband was as well. And so I went to every training. I sought out oil classes, aromatherapy classes. I went to everything to learn about all these compounds. So I guess to answer your question, it was on the job training, because soon after my dad's recovery, all the friends that we had started asking us, "What'd you do?" And everybody's got something. We all have human bodies. Human bodies have problems. And so I just dove in, and that's where we have been. It's been, I think, 12, 13 years now, just everything you can think of in between.
It's interesting, Kendra, because I've interviewed a lot of people that do alternative healing, and it seems like they have things that happen in their life that draw them to synchronistic events. And it sounds that way for you because if your dad had gotten sick. And how did you get into the alternative healing, though? I mean, you said you tried not different classes, but you went to different people because you knew the medicines weren't going to help him. What did you always have an interest in alternative, or did something happen?
Well, to be honest, I just from my own experience, just being disappointed in the medical field for so many things.
Okay.
And I just thought we just need to go somewhere different.
Well, it seems like they just consider the body. They don't consider the mind and the spirit.
Very much so. They kind of treat the human body almost like a robot. Like they can exchange parts and they can just treat things symptomatically. And a lot of times over the years, I've seen a lot of people the root cause of their illness is emotional.
Yeah.
And I'll have people get surgeries, do different things, and they don't get better because they're chasing a ghost, basically, because they're not addressing the root cause.
So what kind of not the root cause, right? The emotional background that's causing the problems. Now, what kind of things can essential oils help with? I've read in a book on aromatherapy, there are colds, just about everything, blood pressure, digestive. Can you tell me some of the things that essential oils can help?
Absolutely. We kind of have a little joke. We say, yes, there's an oil for that. I used to do a lot of training. I used to travel around and teach oil classes and do big events. And everybody always wants to come up and ask about their friend who has hemorrhoids, because it's never them, right? But anything, you name it, the things that I would hear most often when I would do classes was chronic pain, stress, anxiety, and can't sleep. Those tend to be the three big ticket items for people. Of course, there's always hormone issues, digestive trouble. People now, the big buzzword now is detox. After what's gone on the last few years, everybody wants to talk about that.
Can they detox people? Can the oils detox?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Yeah, detox. Yeah. Yes, detox. I'm interested in that.
That's what we primarily have, because we have a storefront, and most people. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Sorry, I think my internet cut out for a minute.
Oh yeah, that's okay. I can hear you. We can hear you now.
Okay, sorry, I had a little internet problem. Most of the time now we have people walking in saying, I want to detox from whatever happened in the last few years. We all know that.
Yes.
So we're addressing that quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your talking is kind of not syncing, but that's okay. Oh, we lost you.
Am I back?
We're back. You're back. We can.
I apologize. I think my internet's kind of a little fluttery right now.
Okay, well let's talk fast then. I wanted to ask you, besides helping humans, can this help animals as well?
All the time. We deal with everything from, of course, everyone's pets, cats, dogs, horses. I've dealt with birds. I've dealt with fish in aquariums.
Wow.
Yeah, so you name it. And there's a whole veterinarian reference book, because a lot of people are very fearful when it comes to their animals, and they've heard a lot of, there's a lot of stories out there about oils, and so we try to break through that, because the animals can benefit just as much.
That's interesting. You can help fish, because how do you do that with oils in the water?
Yes, isn't that
wow,
crazy?
It's amazing. I'm learning so much from you. We've just talked a little bit. So there are different plants that help with different things. Like I love lavender. I have some lavender spray, and I just spray it. It makes me feel good. I don't know what it's doing for me, but I love the scent of lavender. The scents are great. So how can you use oils? You can use them in diffusers, baths. Can you explain how you can use these oils?
Correct. Yeah. What you said in a bath or aromatherapies, where a lot of people are familiar with, where you're smelling oils, where that's very powerful. Aromatherapy, where perhaps you're diffusing an oil in the home. I always like to say, if you're diffusing an oil, you are setting the tone of the household. So if you're diffusing something uplifting like a peppermint or a wild orange or something like that, you're going to get some work done. You're going to get that
Oh,
closet cleaned.
wow.
You're going to get moving.
I love
And
it.
then, yeah, and then in the evening, if you start diffusing things that are more calming, like a sandalwood or a cedar wood or something like that, kind of calms it down. Everybody in the household will benefit from that, including the pets. Our pets sleep right next to our diffusers all the time. If there's illness in the household and there's things you want to diffuse, like tea tree or things like that, to help with the respiratory, anytime you diffuse, you get to kind of control the health of the house. There is, and you can even look this up, there's quite a few hospitals now that are diffusing some oils in the nurses station, because the oils can kill staph and MRSA in the air.
Wow.
So very powerful.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's aromatic. Then we also do topical, where you're putting the oils on your skin directly. Topical goes in the bloodstream as well. Or then we also teach about internal, where you're ingesting the oils.
You can use some massage, though. If you put on, then you can have a massage. I read, too, the mouthwash and gargles.
Mm-hmm.
And in your foods, you can put in your food.
Correct. Makes
Wow.
great guacamole, and orange tastes great in champagne.
Well, you make me want to learn more about these essential oils now. Are there any precautions when using the oils, though?
So a couple things I would like your audience to know is not all oils are created equal. And a few years ago, we know trends catch on, right? And a few years ago, everyone kind of jumped on the oils bandwagon, and suddenly they were everywhere. They're in Walmarts, they're in Bath and Body. And unfortunately, those oils are synthetic. There's a big rush to get them to market, and it's just a fact. If you're going in and you can get a pack of 3 oils for $10, that's just synthetic or made with solvents. I would be very cautious with that. I've had a lot of people experience negative effects from that because it's just a chemical makeup. So I tell people I'm only using pure medical and food grade oils. I'm not using anything that you get, like even at Whole Foods, because I'm sorry, that's just how they're produced. So I like to be very cautious with that. And then if you are using the oils, the only 2 circumstances I tell people is, if you're on blood pressure medication, the oils naturally lower your blood pressure. It's not going to hurt you, but it's already bringing it down. Same with blood sugar. If you're on like a diabetic, the oils will naturally lower your blood sugar. And so I tell people usually when they're doing that, they're monitoring their levels anyway. So I say, if you're going to use the oils or take them internally, do that before you take a full dose of medication, and you can probably adjust from there. And then, go ahead.
No, that's the question what I was going to ask you too. Besides, when you're using good oils, you still have to be careful, because even if they're good oils, some you don't want to put in your mouth. Some you should put in your mouth and some you shouldn't, right? So even with good oils, there's precautions.
There's certain ones. There are hot oils, like cinnamon and oregano are hot oils. People get confused with the word burn. They're just hot, so they make the skin rush. So it could be an unpleasant experience. It'll last a few minutes, then it'll go away.
Okay.
But usually people, you learn that lesson. If you use a hot oil and then you touch your eye, or if you, go to the restroom, you'll learn real quick. But it's very rare that anybody actually does anything to injure themselves. And a lot of people will ask me, with the good oils. I'm not talking about the cheap ones.
No,
you're on your own there.
Yeah.
And then people always ask me, well, what if I drank the whole bottle of oil? First of all, why would you do that? I mean, at that point, you're not trusted with toothpaste. I have to watch you. But even if you were to do that, the body will just purge it out.
If it's good oils, yeah. Now, how do we distinguish? Is there labels or something, or you have to read the ingredients, or how would you know? Like you said the synthetic oils. Will it say synthetic, or your oils are pure? I forget, there was a name of an oil that I heard was really good. I forget. There are names.
If you want me to say the brand name.
Yeah.
Okay, because there are so many companies out there with oils, and they all make certain claims, and you can see their reports where they test for purity and potency, and if there's solvents or if they've been diluted or anything. So our shop is a doTERRA shop, doTERRA Essential Oils, where I trust them. They're medical grade, food grade oils.
Okay, doTERRA.
doTERRA. And then a lot of people are very familiar with Young Living as well, which is
Young
also
Living.
very
That's what I heard of. Young Living. So doTERRA and Young Living are good.
They would be the only ones that I would trust.
And how do you spell doTERRA?
DOTERRA.
Okay, doTERRA and Young Living. Okay, because if I look for some, I'll look for those.
Yeah, I just like to be cautious because they're everywhere, and you'll normally see, like the ones if you were going to like a health food store, they usually carry some different brands, and they'll say for aromatic use only, don't ingest, don't get on skin, and
so
that's
that would
when
be
you
okay.
know.
That would be okay though. Aromatic would be okay.
I would be cautious. This is where people get into fragrance issues.
Oh, okay.
Where, like, if you were to go into like some of the cheaper stores and diffuse that, you're diffusing chemicals.
Okay. So now, people need to training in the oils, like there are herbalists that knows how to use them, aromatherapists, certain doctors. So people have to be trained in order to help you, right?
If you get a good quality oil and you have a good reference book, you can get through it. I always tell people, get some good oils and a book, and you can kind of handle your own household.
Okay.
And that's how we learned to start with. There's a lot of good reference guides out there, like Modern Essentials is a great book.
Mm-hmm.
Essential Life is a good one. And you can get through it. And if you use, if you're concerned, use a carrier oil. Especially if you're dealing with the child or
What's
someone else.
What's a carrier oil?
Like a coconut oil or something like that.
Yeah.
So you're doing a carrier, so you're just diluting it a bit to make it a little slower.
It's funny you mentioned coconut oil, because on my computer it has questions, and one was, what can be used for instead of intravenously? And it was the coconut oil was the healthiest thing to use for intravenous. So I know coconut oil is supposed to be very good. So
coconut oil is a healer, absolutely.
Can you give an example of somebody who's come to you that used an oil and they had a problem, and what the problem was and how the oil helped them?
Oh gosh, I have lots of them. Would you like me to go into John's experience now?
Yes. Tell us about John.
Okay, so John has given me permission to share this with you. When I met John 2 years ago, do you want me to share the picture?
Yes, please, if you can. If you can.
I think I can.
Okay, don't disappear now.
I'm going to try.
Okay, give it a go.
I'm going to try it here. Let's see.
So, well, there he is. Oh my God. Ooh, that looks terrible. What is that?
That is skin cancer.
Ugh.
Yeah. So what you're looking at is John had dealt with this for years. And as you can see right here, this is obviously skin cancer. And what you can see there on his neck, he had a large tumor around his artery in his neck. When I met John, this is how his face looked. He had gone through the chemo. He had done surgery. He'd done radiation. He'd been dealing with this for a minimum of 5 years.
Jeez.
So when I met him, they sent him home and they said, sorry, John, there's not much more we can do for you. They told him, enjoy your next few years. His daughter thought he might have months. This was about June when I met him, and she said, we just hope to get him to Christmas. And the reason is if you look here in his throat here, that tumor was around his artery, and they said they could not do surgery. It was too risky, and it was only a matter of time before it cut off his artery there. So when we met John, he was not a very willing participant. He had zero belief in what we were doing.
Who brought him there?
His daughter.
Oh, his daughter. Okay, yeah, you said that.
Yeah. And so, but just the same as I started with my dad, when you are out of options, you will find something. And so anyway, so he came in, and we have a thing called a Zyto scanner. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but you put your hand on it. It's like a galvanic skin response. It's a report from the body. A lot of people are familiar with it with, like, when you do an EKG on your heart, it's the same technology. Mm-hmm. And it turned up a report and said, guess what, John? Yes, you have cancer, and your body wants frankincense and myrrh. And a lot of people kind of laugh at that, because he was like, what? Because he thought, oh, you guys are pulling my leg. And we said, no, that is my number one cancer combo. And so we said, just put it on there, John. Just put it on the wound. And so he did.
Oh, my gosh.
Excuse me. So that took about 3 months.
Oh, boy.
And he is officially cancer-free per his doctor.
Per his doctor?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing. Frankincense and myrrh. Yeah, oh, gee, I'm so glad. That's wonderful. Boy, I bet he's a believer now, huh?
Isn't it? And he likes everyone to see this, because he says he was ready. He said, I was done. I wasn't going to do any more treatments. I knew it wasn't going to help me anymore. And so this is just an example. We don't often get things this dramatic that we can see on the outside. So usually what we can see is just like, people say, oh, it helps with my headache, my arthritis. But this was one I like to share, because normal cancers are internal. And so to see this on the outside and see what it's doing. And the reason is frankincense does this process called apoptosis, which is a fancy word for saying life cycle of the cell. It turns over the diseased and damaged cells and helps your body create, it tells the body, we're not making any more of those cancerous cells, we're making new good cells. And so that's what frankincense can do. And so I know we have to be careful because he had obviously gone through the medical route, he'd done all of that. But he is cancer-free officially, and that's
the picture tells the truth. Look at the difference.
Yeah.
And he's still alive. He's still alive, right?
Oh, he's thriving.
That's
he's
great.
Doing great.
So what is his attitude now? Has he changed? Is he looking for alternative things for his health now?
Oh gosh, he tells everybody, you can't keep him quiet. And he will walk up to people in the restaurants and the shopping centers, and he'll say, you got to try this. So it's been a fun experience. We've enjoyed getting to know him through this, and we consider him a friend now because he's so willing to help others. It's been wonderful.
That's a beautiful story. I'm so glad he made it. That's great.
Yeah, we're happy, and we always joke with him. We're like, John, you weren't even supposed to be here. So, but he's really enjoying it. So I'm just trying to see how to stop my screen share here.
Well, that's okay. This has been really interesting. Is there anything you want to add?
I just tell people start wherever you can, get a few oils. I just started with a couple of them. Don't be afraid. I know a lot of people, it's new, like they think they're going to overdose. The oils are gone through your body in 3 to 5 hours. They're out. So start with a couple drops. I would say one of the easiest ones to start with is like lemon oil. Lemon oil is beautiful. It helps cleanse the digestive tract. It helps brighten the skin, gives you energy, helps loosen the joints. A couple drops of that in a glass of water a day will change your health.
You are so passionate. I love your passion about this. Well, because you've experienced it, right? So, and
yeah,
you've had clients.
I like to see people get better.
Now, you don't have to use a name, but are there any other clients that the essential oils have helped? Or animals?
We have done everything from a woman in her 20s facing scoliosis surgery, and the oils helped her straighten out her spine, literally moved the bone.
Oh my gosh.
So, and right to my own mother had terrible arthritis where her joints were getting disfigured, where they start to turn the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom would just sit there, she's not very technical, as you can see. I just kind of like, just throw some oils on, let's start somewhere. And my mom had her oils there by the TV at night, just rubbed her hands because her hands used to hurt her so much. And my mom's now 81 and she does not have arthritis anymore.
We can't get rid of John, can we?
I'm trying.
Okay, that's all right.
There we go.
Yay! I mean,
I'm
glad. It was good to see the nice part, but I could still see the ugly part. It's making me kind of yuck.
I know it. We have that at our shop, and some people I can't look at that, so I understand.
No, that's okay. I'm glad you showed it because that was dramatic. That was amazing, really amazing. So, any other kind of people that you want to mention that you helped that not quite that dramatic, I imagine. Was that the most dramatic one?
That I can show a picture of?
Well, you don't have to.
We deal with Okay. So we deal with all kinds of things from, like I said, one of the most common things we get now is stroke. We get a lot of autoimmune conditions. Seems like so many people, even younger people, are having autoimmune conditions. So we can manage that. We work with a lot of people to get them off of medication, especially pain medication. The longer you're on pain medication, your body's just going to have to pay for it at some point. And I would say the one thing too is a lot of people just to get off, stress, anxiety, just to deal with that. And especially young people in school have so much anxiety. And if they could just put an oil on and feel that relief, that's a big one. We're working right now with a young man. Well, he's actually a young married man. He was in a terrible motorcycle accident about a year and a half ago in a wheelchair, and he's regaining feeling. And we're working on that, where he can start getting those nerves repaired.
Amazing.
So there's nothing, I would say, until you're actually dead, we're going to keep working on you. And I do have an interview. One of the most powerful interviews we have is a woman, her name's Laura, in Kentucky. And her husband was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. This was in 2017, I think. And they told him, it's too far gone. We cannot do any treatment for you. They never did treatment for him. And she's fiery. She was looking things up. She took him home and got a nebulizer. He never did cancer treatments. And she started putting frankincense right in that nebulizer for him to do breathing treatments. And they told him, they said, call the family. He doesn't have this weekend. That's, just get ready. And she wouldn't quit. She's kept having breathed that frankincense in. And I had this whole interview, it's an hour long, and he started coughing really bad. And she thought, this is it. He's gone. And she said it was blood. And she says, just try to make him comfortable. He coughed up his lung cancer.
Wow.
And she is a smart cookie. She saved it. She paid $3,000 to send it to a lab who did not believe her, who said there's no way anyone has ever coughed up this lung cancer. He literally had the little branches going off into the lungs. She could see it, the whole thing. They sent it to 3 other labs to verify it. He was cancer-free. He coughed that stuff up. And they said it's not humanly possible. So we have it verified from labs as well. So there's a lot of things. I know when I think back to all these dramatic things, we just get used to it because we hear it all the time. And it's one more experience that we have. So I always say, until you're for sure dead, we're going to keep putting oils on you.
When you say nebulizer, that's like an aerator, a diffuser, right? A nebulizer?
Yeah, like when you do a breathing treatment that where you're inhaling it. You can get them like at Walgreens and stuff like that.
Can you just open and with your nose? Can you?
Yeah, it's like you plug it in. It's like a steam.
No, but I mean, if you didn't have that, could you just buy the oils and just inhale them?
Yep, right from the bottle.
Yeah, I love lavender. I don't know why, but I love lavender, and I've got this lavender spray, and sometimes I'll spray it, and it just feels so good. It smells so good.
Well, lavender is empowering, and emotionally, it helps you find your voice. So anybody who needs to speak for a living, lavender helps them as well.
Oh,
so
I
lavender
used it
is a big emotional one.
Oh, that's good to know. So yeah, you make me want to learn about essential oils now. This has been so exciting. Is there anything you want to add to this?
Just for an example, on the emotional side, I don't think we give it enough credit. We deal with a lot of people with death and grieving and mourning, and people don't, and here we're taught in this country, get over it, move on, and the body can't. People need help to process emotions. The body needs help to process emotions. And so a lot of times after losing somebody, we tend to get a lot of respiratory illness. That's where a lot of times, like elderly people, if they've lost a mate, they will succumb to pneumonia. It's literally like they're drowning in grief. And so we tell them a lot of eucalyptus, different oils on the chest to help release that grief, move that illness out of the lungs, and help your body to heal. There's so much that can be done. There's so much relief that can happen where we are just told, there's nothing we can do. You just have to get through it. The oils can help you manage that. The oils don't do the emotional work, but they will help you do the process and speed it along.
There's so much help available. I've done a lot of interviews with alternative healers, and now I'm so excited about the essential oils. You got me really excited to learn more.
I'm glad. There's so much, and it doesn't have to be these big stories. Sometimes people are happy if they could just sleep all night.
Now, you've had your shop for 6 years. You've seen a lot of people. Do a lot of people come in?
We do all the time, and we're getting. I'm pleased to say we're getting more men who are willing to walk in and say, "Okay, I need help with this or that." And, we just are there to help. It's just a human body.
Yeah.
We're just there to help. Whatever your symptoms are, we get it from A to Z, like I told you. And we just start giving people solutions and find what's right for them.
Can you tell me about any animal that you've helped?
Oh, yeah. We've dealt with all kinds of things. For example, recently we dealt with I hope I can say this, a horse that had a vaccine injury with a horse that had developed neurological problems and seizures. And we were able to put a combination of oils on him to stop that.
Did you rub it on the skin or?
Yeah, topical.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you put it around the horse's head. And funny, horses are so intelligent. They will choose what they want. And then everything from like our animals are oiled. I'll just tell you that. Everything from our cat with an abscess to, when our dog developed a little cancer issue, we dealt with it with oils. We just handle it. So I deal with a lot of animals. Most of the time it's dogs, and dogs with anxiety issues, or dogs who won't eat, or dogs with digestive trouble,
Wow.
So there's a lot of things that we get, but horses are probably the close second. And horses are smart. They will pick what they want. And we even have some that, from bad injuries that it looked like, they wouldn't likely have to be put down, that they could recover. Whether it be a leg injury, we can work on it.
This must give you a lot of satisfaction, know that you can help both people and animals, doesn't it? Does it give you a lot of satisfaction?
I love it.
That's great.
I love it. And the gals that work with me in the shop, it's funny, when somebody new comes in, they'll be like, oh my gosh, they're so excited. Can you believe this? Can you believe that? And we're like, yes, we know. Yes, we know. And I'm like, it's kind of weird that we act so nonchalant, like, yeah, we know. We got rid of the cancer. And they're like, no, that's a big deal. And I'm like, it is a big deal. But when you get used to seeing it, you expect things to get better.
Yeah, you've been doing it for a long time. I'm just talking to you now, and I'm absolutely impressed. I don't know what to say. So I won't say the last word. You've put in your last word. Anything you want to add to the interview?
I'm happy to help anybody. I know a lot of times I hate it when people are afraid, especially elderly people. I know when my dad had his stroke, it was very scary.
Yes, yeah.
And I don't like people to be afraid or feel pressured. I don't like, unfortunately, a lot of things in modern medicine have become very pressure and fear based. And there are options. Take time, research. A lot of people are pressured into doing treatments they don't want right away. And so I'm happy to help. You can give my information out. If there's things I can guide them
Yes.
and give them some suggestions, I'm happy to do that.
You think there maybe it'd be valuable to take some classes as well?
I would, yeah. Absolutely.
Now
Find your local oil person and start learning.
Now you're in Placerville, you're in California, and we're in Oregon, but still, we're going to put your information on the credits, so you don't mind if people go on your website or email you if they have any questions?
Not at all, yeah.
That's great.
And every Monday night we do an open Zoom call where we answer people's questions and do training
really?
on oils.
Oh, that's great. An open Zoom call every Monday night. That's great. I didn't know that.
Monday at 6 p.m.
Wow. So
We've been doing that for years.
Okay, well, we'll put your information on the screen. As long as we have your email and your website, they'll be able to get in touch with you on that, right?
Absolutely.
Well, Kendra, it's been a pleasure. I'm so happy to meet you online.
You too. This was fun. I'm usually on the other end. I'm usually conducting the call, so this was a nice switch.
Thank you so much, and keep up your good work. Like I said, I'm just blown away. This is great. I'm so glad we did this. Have a wonderful.
It's fun, and I tell people, don't be scared. Let's just find some solutions and get you feeling better.
Besides, a lot of those oils smell good.
They're a dream.
Yeah, they are. It's not like you're putting stinky stuff on.
I mean, some are a little herbal, I'll be honest. But
do you have a favorite oil before you go? Do you have a favorite one?
You know what? I will say why, yes. And it's become a new favorite is Clary Sage is one of my favorite. Clary Sage unlocks potential. And it helps you to think your way out of things, see solutions. And besides, it's great for hormones. But that's one of my favorites because I think a lot of people get bottled down or can't get out of their own way.
Also, now, essential oils not only help you physically, but they can help you mentally and spiritually then. I mean, and like you said, help clarify things. That's great.
Help level up. Yeah.
That's great.
I always use it when I'm setting goals or going for the next big achievement. We got our oils going.
That's wonderful. I love it. Okay. I'm too excited now, so I better end the interview. So nice talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Kendra. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day and keep up your good work.
You too. Thanks again. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, I want to thank our viewing audience again, and I want to ask you if you have topics you'd like us to talk about, or if somebody you want to recommend, or maybe if you want to be on the show, let us know, because I also do in-studio interviews, and if you're not here in the Oregon, I can interview you somewhere else via Zoom. Anyway, contact us please at parapsychologytoday24@gmail.com, and we'll put that up for you at the end. So it's parapsychologytoday24@gmail.com. Thank you for watching our show. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye now.